Here's the homework for 5th grade for lesson 9 from module 2. I'm going ahead and I'm kind of cruising on down to one of the harder problems to give as a demonstration because it's got multiple parts to it. This one is saying to use the chart up above to solve, and then it's giving you soccer field dimensions. And these are FIFA regulation numbers, and this one is New York State high schools as far as what they have in yards. So it gives a minimum length and a maximum length, and then it specifies minimum width and maximum width. And so when we find area, we know it's length times width to find the area. And so that comes into play in this problem. It's asking us first to write an expression to find the difference. Difference means we're going to be subtracting in the maximum area and the minimum area of New York State high school soccer field, and then evaluate our expression. And so we're going to find the minimum and then the maximum. We have to find the difference between the two, and it's the area. And so we actually have to go through and find the area first, and then we're going to find the difference between them. So in the high school, let's go for the minimum first. And so the minimum one is going to be for an area, it's going to be 100, because this is the minimum length. And let's go with the minimum width is going to go 55. So 100 times 55, and that's the minimum. So the area on that is, if we multiply those two together, we'll have it. And then if we want to find the difference, we have to subtract. This one's going to be the maximum. Here's the maximum length is 120. We're going length times width, 120. And then if we get the maximum width, it's going to be times 80. And then after we find the difference between the two, then we will have evaluated our expression. So we know that 1 times 55 is 55. And then we have our 2 zeros that come along. And then we're going to be subtracting from that. Oh, actually, you know what? Here's the deal. This is the minimum, so it's going to come out smaller than the other one. So actually, we're going to have to reverse these when we find out the difference. So this one, we're going to go 120 times 80. And we can just go, if we want to, 8 times 10, or 8 times 100, right? So if we have 120 times 80, what we can do is just kind of get rid of those zeros to start with. So I will erase this 0 off of that. And we say 12 times 8. And then we're going to add 2 zeros to it. So that's going to be 16, carry our 1, 8 plus 1 is 9. And now we have to add our zeros onto it, so it's going to be 9,600. Now when we go to find the difference, we can't do it that way. These have to be reversed. We have to have the maximum minus the minimum. And so that's going to look like this when we go to actually subtract. 9,600. What we're taking away is 5,500. So 0 take away 0, still nothing. 0 take away 0, still nothing. 6 take away 5, you have 1 left over. And then we can go the other direction and think about it this way too. So when you subtract 5 plus what gets us 9? I know 5 plus 4 gets us 9. So that's one way to look at it too. 4,100 is the difference. So that's the answer in that case. Now let's take a look at what's next. Would a field with a width of 75 yards and an area of 7,500 yards be within the FIFA regulation? Why or why not? And so we know that if we have to go width times length, our width is 75. We're multiplying by something, and we end up with 75 and 2 zeros, right? if that's the result, what do you multiply 75 by to get those 2 extra zeros? You're multiplying it by 100, right? Because you go 1 times 75, 1 times 75 gets you your 75, and you bring your 2 zeros over. So let's look at the FIFA regulations. So it's going to be 75 by 100. So the width, it tells us right here, it's a width of 75. Here's the minimum width of 75. The minimum length is 110. So our answer, in this case, is going to be no, as the, let's doctor up our E here, the minimum length, woo, it went away, I went down too far, there we go, the minimum length, L-E-N-G-T-H, is 110, period, and then you're good. If it costs $26 to fertilize, water, and mow and maintain each square yard of full-size FIFA field with the maximum dimensions before the game, how much will it cost to prepare the field for the next week's match? So it's telling us we're going with the maximum dimensions. So let's figure out what the maximum dimensions are going to be. So if we have a maximum length of 120, a maximum width of 80. So it's going to be 120 times 80 will give us the dimensions of it. And then we have to multiply those dimensions by 26. So when we think about this, we can go 8 times 2 is 16. We carry a 1. 8 times 1 plus 1 is 9, right? And we did this before, didn't we? We kind of calculated this right there. And so here's another way to look at it. And so now we have our 2 zeros. We just put our 2 zeros on there. So if it's 9,600 and it's square yards, right? Square yards is the result. I'm just going to make an arrow. That's what you get. And now we have to figure out if it's to fertilize that. We're going to say it's 26 for every one of them. So then we can multiply and figure out if it's that many of them, how many. So how many dollars? 6 times 0 is 0. And again, 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 6 is 36. Remember the little dance that goes with that? So there's a 3 coming up here. 6 times 9 is going to be 6 less than 60, right? So it's going to be 54. And what did we carry? A 3. So 54, 55, 56, 57. 57. And now we've got 20 times 0. So we have a 0 in the ones place. We have nothing here. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. We carry our 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. And then we add 0, 0, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 9 plus 5 is 14. That gets us a 2 here. Wow. That is, what, $250,000? How much would it be to prepare the field? Is the cost, make a circle, period. Let's go ahead and take a look. Well, I can't really get to the answer key right now. Here is what your homework problem is for today. We're going to cruise on up these to number 1. It's right here. This word problem. Jeffrey bought 203 sheets of stickers. Each one of those sheets has a dozen stickers. He gave away 907 of them to family and friends on Valentine's Day. So how many stickers does Jeffrey have remaining? So the first thing you have to figure out is how many he starts with. It's 203 sheets. 12 of them for every sheet. I'm going to put that there. 12 of them for every sheet. Then you have to figure out, let me go back there, then you have to figure out how many stickers he's starting with. Once you've got that answer, the next thing is what if he gives away 907? How many does he have remaining? So don't copy. Just solve. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.